Alright guys, we're back a couple days later. This is a continuation from the last video. I was able to get a 34mm socket for the hub. This was $19.99 at O'Reilly, although they offered to loan it to me. They said I could bring it back when I'm done. So they do loan this. And I actually went ahead and bought it because we had a $5 coupon that they sent us in the mail. So it was like 16 something with tax. And I can't wait to use this puppy. Now technically, at least the way the book reads, I should have cracked this bolt before I took the tires off and jacked it up, but I didn't have the right socket at the time, so I'm going to use a pry bar, put a couple lug nuts back on. I'm going to use a pry bar against the concrete and see what we can accomplish this way. Oh, they do say that you need to use a breaker bar because of the amount of torque, which I don't have a breaker bar that's going to fit this, so I'm going to have to figure something out. Let's see if I can crack it with this long torque wrench. Oh my god. Yeah, we're definitely going to need something else. Whoa. Yeah, that's no good. God dang, I got an old steel pipe. Problem is, it's about 4 feet long, so I'm gonna have to get it steady there and then come back all the way to the edge. Now this should crack it. There it is. I saw it move. Did you see that? Made it look easy. Oh. Oh. Oh, man. Oh. Set this up again. All right. Oh. Definitely moving. Whew. I need a break. Holy shit. Oh yeah. Now it's coming. Holy shit. Woo! Holy shit! Not fucking around. Same deal on the passenger side. Which is kind of a pain because I don't have a lot of room on this side of the car. That's why you're probably going to get more of me working on the driver's side. Everything I'm doing on the driver's side, it's the exact same on the passenger side. That's exactly right. Let's see what we can do here. Got a good bite. I'm going to walk it back. That's no good. I definitely probably should have done this with the tires on the ground. Okay, got a bite. Oh, I saw it turn. Oh, yeah, there it is. I just cracked it. I felt it move big time that time. Wow. Check. Okay. You know why? Pay attention. You know why that's coming off so good? Because the wheel cover that was on the driver's side, we lost that. I think they lost like a year or two ago. So, since these things go for like $60 on eBay, we never bought a new wheel cover. So, this is the result of a wheel that's been properly, hubcap, what have you. The other side is a perfect result is when you lose your wheel cover and leave it off with this bolt exposed. See the wheel cover, it covers the center. So this one being not so exposed to the elements, you see how quick that's coming off. I mean, I can do it with one hand right now. So something to keep in mind if you lose a wheel cover and that center nut is exposed. I think we're definitely going to spring for a new wheel cover. Piece of cake, look at that. Take it out with my fingers. Beautiful. So the procedure for removing the transmission, raise the vehicle, support securely on jack stands. I did boost my jack stands all the way up, and I regret not buying the 6-ton. I should have bought the 6-ton. So we know that for next time. Drain the transaxle fluid, we did that. Remove the torque converter cover. Mark the torque converter to drive plate relationships so they can be in the same position. Well, I'm going to be using a new torque converter, so that doesn't apply. Remove the torque converter to drive plate bolts. I'm not going to do that at this moment. Tonight I want to primarily focus on taking off the calipers and rotors and possibly popping the drive axles out. Getting rid of this extra steel. Tie rod's loose, all that stuff. So let's see. Remove the starter motor. I don't think we're going to have to do that. Remove the drive axles. So that's our goal for tonight. Remove the drive axles. And to do that, brake caliper and caliper support has to come off. Disc comes off. Tie rod comes loose. This extra steel stabilizer bar comes loose. And then, let's see. Yeah, then we should be able to move things enough. You know what? We'll probably have to, the lower ball joint, that's what I'm missing, the lower ball joint on the control arm. And then this will be able to sway a little bit and we can pull the drive axle out. And I want to point out something before I get started on all that. This is why I let the transmission drip, although in this case it really doesn't matter. I didn't even think about this because we're replacing the transmission. But for those of you who want to do a fluid change and filter, not necessarily the flush, look how much extra fluid came out just by letting it drip. I mean, you probably have maybe a quarter quart, maybe half quart between these two pans. So, you know, if you're doing your transmission fluid and you got some extra time to spare, let it drip for a couple days because you get another, you know, maybe half quart out of it. Okay, removing the caliper bolts. This is a 15 millimeter. And these guys can be stubborn. And do remember that. Oh. There we go. Got some Tom playing on the radio. Miss you, Tom. Remember that was the day of the Vegas shooting, I think. Or one of those shootings. One of those so-called, you know. These bolts are also pistons that the caliper slides on. So they got a little grease in there. We're going to re-grease everything when we put it back together. Who doesn't think of Jerry Maguire when hearing this song? Or that hot chick in the music video that was on the skateboard. Those were the days. Fucking kids today, they don't know anything about that. Now I'm gonna put a flathead screwdriver. Let's see. Right there, you know. And over here. I want to push the piston in just a little bit so that we can get this off here freely. Okay, here we go. Now one of the brake pads came loose, that's all right. I'm going to use some 12 gauge wire. I'm going to secure this thing up here. Out of the way. Some people leave it hanging by the, or not hanging by the brake line, but they hook it up here without using wire. I don't want to take the chance the thing falls. Then we're replacing brake lines and shit. Just takes a second to cut some 12 gauge wire up. Make you a little bit of anchor here. Now, you know that ain't going nowhere. Suspended by one of the bolt hooks. Okay, the brake pad stayed back. Gotta get it out of there. Let's see. Should have came out with the caliper. I wonder what happened there. Oh, the other brake pad's on there too. Okay. Yeah, it's almost time for some new brakes. How the hell is this supposed to work? What am I doing wrong here? Clip come out? What the hell am I doing wrong here? Weird design, some of this. That's why they only made this car for 3 years. Shit like this. Are you telling me you have to take the caliper support off to get this brake out? Oh, wait a minute. There's a retainer clip here if we can get it out without breaking anything. I don't think I've ever changed brakes that came apart like this, and I've changed a lot of brakes. Are you kidding me? Okay, guys, what the hell's happening here? I mean, I'm taking the caliper support off anyway, but it's just the point. I'm sorry, I don't even know if you're in the shot. It's just the point. It's my OCD, right? I gotta, that brake has to come out. I can't just take the support off and take the brake. It's got to come off this way. Because I find it hard to believe. I mean, how are you supposed to change brakes on this car? You see this? Ah, finally. Yeah, that's about even wear. That's what you want to see. Even all the way around. Okay, so I gotta remember this was the front. Let's see. There's no wear indicators. How do you have brakes with no wear indicators? Caliper support bolts. Same size. Oh, wow. Much easier to crack. Got one on top, one on bottom, it looks like. I have a problem here. Let's see. And we're going to need a different ratchet there. There you go. A little bit more shallow on this ratchet. There you go. Oh, that's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. That's nice. Caliper support bolt. There. I still got 2 of the lug nuts on this disc. Take those off. Okay, caliper support is off. These are, by the way, a what is that? 19 millimeter. And these lug nuts are a little ate up. I might see if I can find some new lug nuts. That's what happens when you use a when you're not using the proper 6-point, which I am using. So whoever worked on this car before. Ate the lug bolt. I mean, they're all still usable. Okay. Disc. Give it a little tap. There's a damn star bolt in there. See, now why do they gotta complicate stuff like this? I don't have the proper star key. I'm gonna have to go buy some more tools. I mean, what's the point of that? All the times I've ever worked on this stuff in my life, I've never seen a. Give me a break. How the hell are we gonna get that out? At least tell me it's not torqued in there. There we go. All right. I have to use an Allen key because I don't have a star bit for this. I don't understand how they're thinking here. Again, why this car was only made for 3 years. Bullshit like this. Let's see, get here. Yeah. I know it's probably a safety feature, but I mean, come on. Yeah, look at that. What is that? What the hell? Now the disc should come off. There's another damn screw I don't know about. Okay, I think those are just pullers. I think you could put you could thread something in there to pop it off, but let's see if we can. There we go. Oh yeah. Rotor looks to be in good shape. There's a slight groove there, but nothing to be alarmed about. It's the actual procedure for the drive axles. Remove wheel cover, loosen the hub nuts, remove drive axle hub nuts, refer to chapter 9. Disconnect the electrical connector of the ABS, which is right here on the back of this guy. Clip down. There's the ABS. Okay. Let's see. Then remove the wheel sensor. This is where it varies from the Lumina. The Lumina had a separate sensor. The sensor for this car is built into the hub itself. So all we got to do is unplug it. Remove the 4 bolts securing the hub bearing assembly. I believe this only has 3 bolts on this car, and they should be 13 millimeter. And one here, one there, and then there's one on this other side. Kind of tight in there. Loosen them up real quick. See, that other one's right there. That one's going to be a pain. See if we can get it with a short extension. right up on top. Oh, like a glove. That hurt. Shit. Oh, how I miss working on cars. We're gonna have to turn this bad boy back. Ah! There we go. Yeah, it's moving. There we go. That's a long one too. Let's get the other ones out. Number 2. And I just want to make sure these are the same size. They are. Number 3 you can get with your fingers. It's really easy there. Okay, we'll wiggle it off there. There we go. So there's our wheel bearing. Now I actually thought that this was going to be the hard part. That slid right off of there. Wheel bearing. So that's where our drive axle goes into the transmission there, which it looks a little... See if I can get my hands around it. I can just pull it out. Now we're gonna need a little help. The book says use a screwdriver, but I can't get a good angle with a screwdriver. I'm gonna try to get my pry bar back here. See if we can just get it right under that lip. Get a good enough grip on it. Let's try it this way. Plastic splash guard over here that's got little plastic pop-outs. I was gonna have to take this off anyway, so get that out of the way, because we're definitely gonna need to get to these bolts. I'm back there, but that thing don't want to budge. Okay, this officially sucks. Okay, so a half hour later, I finally got it with this angle right here. I just kept jerking on it and eventually came loose. Pretty sure I could pull it out with my hands now. Okay, give it a little bit more slack over here. There you have it. Drive axle coming out. I'm gonna just take it this way. Got a little cavity there, I can back it up. Go. Driver's side drive axle. Now we got to do the same thing on the passenger side. Okay, so a couple hours and a lot of bad language later, I finally got the entire passenger side done, just like I just did the driver's side. I was going to do a recap from the garage, but I left the GoPro on and then went dead. Did find a problem with the passenger side wheel hub. When I pulled it apart, this whole piece came out. I don't think that I just did that, because I could tell there's some, I don't know if you can see, there's some water damage around this lip and on the inside here. Same thing on this piece. I don't know if this was the source of the rumble. I mean, I could turn it and it's not making noise, but when you're going 30, 40 miles an hour, who knows? We did have a problem with the ABS light coming on anytime you made a sharp turn or parked the car, anytime you cut the wheels real tight. The ABS sensor's in this part here, so if you were cutting the wheels real tight, it might have been prying this open. I don't know. There's definitely some water damage all around. So we will be replacing the passenger side wheel hub when we put things back together. The driver's side had been replaced a while back, so that's why it looks so good. This is probably the original. This was a bitch to get out. So I'm done for today. I got the drive axles out. That's what I wanted to do. I'll work on it more in a couple days. We'll get out there and get the tie rods undone, the ball joints, the control arms. We'll see what we got to do to get the subframe dropped. So until then, you guys have a good one.